Welcome back, denizens of the Omniverse. Today we got our first look at Season 2 of Netflix's live-action One Piece. Now, Season 1, if you're new to the channel at all, was my introduction to the world of One Piece. I was swept away with it. I absolutely loved the first season, you know, because One Piece was always this thing that felt like it was this impossible thing to enter if you didn't start when it started. And after which, I simply couldn't shake the itch anymore, and I started it here on the channel. I'm currently in the midst of Water 7 at the moment here, and I am enjoying the absolute shit out of it. I still think the live action did some things better than the anime. I'll stand by that still. I love some of the changes that they've made, the streamlining of some of the storylines. Obviously, they trimmed out a lot in the first season, considering they condensed, what, 60 some episodes into 8? And seemingly they're going to be condensing even more down into Season 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've stated that this will go up until Drum Island. So, weird place, I think, to stop, personally. But I do hope that they at least start to film these things back to back. At least I hope Season 3's production's a little bit closer and tighter together than Season 1. Obviously, I think with Season 1, I think there was a case of them being like, okay, is this going to do well? Are we going to make more seasons? And it blew up. So I'm hoping that after the success of Season 1, they're able to just jump in, and we don't have such of a large production lull between Season 1 and Season 2, or Season 2 and Season 3 rather. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do. Obviously, they've announced a metric fuck ton of castings for Season 2, some of which, at least if you're watching the anime, don't even make some appearances in the section that they're covering, which I think is, again, it's going to be really interesting to see how they reorder and restructure certain things. And I can't wait. I just can't wait. I can't wait. So with that all said, let's go ahead and check out what this first look contains. Here we go. All right, let's reverse mountain.
Everything I've done.
Whiskey Peak.
Everywhere I go.
Yo.
It's for the One Piece.
What is that?
Yo! Holy shit! That was one of the things I think I was the most... Yo! Let's go! Mr. Three's cabin. Yo! Hell yeah! Yeah! Oh! Let's freaking go, dude! Into the Grand Line and season. Well, there we go! I got my answer. Season 3 sets sail soon. You know, we got our first look at Chopper a little while back at Tadam, and I think he looks fantastic. I'm excited to see what they do with this, man. I think once we got out of, again, you know, when we watched the first season, I wasn't like a noob to anime at all. One Piece was just one of those things I just never tackled because of the overwhelming amount of episodes. I just never started it. Most other anime I'd started since the jump. But all that's to say that, like, with every other shonen that I have seen, they very quickly eventually get so, like, the longer they go on, the louder, larger, and more over the top they get. Like, you know, for example, like, you know how Dragon Ball just started off with a martial arts tournament and then they started destroying galaxies. You know, it went from simple, like, technique, and you'd have like a ki blast here and there. It's very small, very personal kind of stories. You know, he's fighting soldiers with guns and stuff against the Red Ribbon Army. And then, you know, we jump ahead towards the end of the series, and there's a multiversal battle where just them punching can ripple across and destroy universes or planets. There's always this huge jump over the course of the longevity of this thing in the power scaling. Naruto as another example. Like, they went from little assassination missions to Naruto cuts the moon in half at one point. Soon, with the amount of episodes, One Piece will also follow suit in getting off the wall as far as the types of stuff that their characters are going to be able to do and what they're going to be able to fight. And then right out of East Blue, right out of Whiskey Peak, we get to Little Garden. We have these fucking kaiju-sized giants. And I was like, okay, we're not even gonna have to wait that long before we start getting into the crazy shit with One Piece. So how are we gonna do that? How are we gonna make that work? So we're gonna get a pretty decent taste of that going into this season. Obviously, things are still gonna continue to escalate, as I assume they will eventually. But I think this will give us a little bit of a taste and a tease on how they might approach some of that larger than life anime stylings once we get into some of these aspects here. Now, if they start like teleporting, zip, zooming, flying around, fighting, flying in the air, sky, shooting lasers, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how we're going to handle all that when we get to that point. If we get to that point, I know a lot of people power scale Luffy to some crazy extents because he always comes up in like, battles, like when people are like doing like the little fictional verses. So I'm like, I have to imagine things in One Piece get pretty freaking insane at some point. So I don't know how that's going to translate to live action. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. I think with where it started off, which is already a pretty high bar in season 1, I think, by like if you're compared it to anything regular live action, like if this was just like Black Sails, you know, pirates being pirates, just regular old dudes. Obviously, we are already well beyond that in how crazy some of the stuff can get. But for One Piece, we're really grounded at the moment. We were, at least in season 1. We got Whiskey Peak, Logue Town. We got a bit of the part where Alvida comes back, and obviously with Buggy and his pirates and all that going on. We got Laboon as well. Smoker, who was teased at the end of the last season, which I was like, you know, for anime fans, this probably means a lot. But for me, having at that time not known jack shit, I was like, all right, who the fuck's this guy? And the people they've cast in these roles, like going into this next section, has me super freaking excited. And the fact that they're not going to be hesitating, seemingly, like I was worried about between seasons 2 and 3, I think they weren't sure. It had to have been that they just weren't sure how this was going to land. Obviously, there was a curse surrounding the live action anime remakes. So they clearly broke that, at least for themselves. We've seen some other people still completely fail and not learn any of these lessons, but they did a really good job, like spectacular job at capturing the heart, the spirit, and the imagery. And I think even expanding upon some things, because also unlike the anime, at least early on in the anime, they also are doing things a little more closely to the manga than the anime even itself had to adapt or censor at certain points, which the show has not done. And just the cast, man. I love following up on what they're all doing, especially Taz, dude. That guy, after being cast as Sanji, has made it his entire identity to be a fucking badass. His martial arts prowess these days, because that's like most of what he does is travel and practice martial arts now. That dude is a fucking beast. He's made that his identity almost to a point, you know, both learning to actually cook and to fight, which is amazing. I absolutely love that. You know what? Fuck it. Real quick, let's take one more sweep through this, because it's just a small, nice little bite-sized taste. It's them slicing their way through Little Garden,
Everywhere I go.
walking down into Whiskey Peak, Logue Town,
It's for the One Piece.
where Roger was executed.
What is that?
Dude, that looks so good! I can't freaking wait, man. Going into Mr. Three's cabin, or whatever you want to call it. Yo, VV. There's Alvida real quick. Hell yeah, dude. Let's fucking go, man. Damn, I still wish it was coming out this year, dude. Unless that 2026 was for season 3. I think the implication though is that this is coming soon to 2026. Yeah, Into the Grand Line is 2026. So hopefully we won't have a huge gap between season 2 and season 3. I really do hope I mean, again, with the amount of ground they got to cover with these actors as well, if they want to maintain this, they gotta keep on chugging, dude. They said like, at least with the showrunners, because I think one of them had to step away just because of to avoid burnout, if I remember correctly, after finishing the work on season 1. I don't know if they're on board for season 2 or not, or if they left after season 2. I can't remember the exact story. They said they're hoping for 6 seasons, but they've plotted for 12 or something like that, something along those lines. Like they have right now a 12-season plan if they're going to go the whole distance. Obviously, One Piece is still ongoing. Even the manga and the show have not ended yet. Even though I think they've said the manga is in its final arc, I do think that the manga is still going. Yeah, it's still ongoing, but I think they've announced that this current arc is the final arc. Still, though, that is so many fucking chapters and episodes for them to go through. If they focus on production, that's still another 12 years, which I imagine if this is actually the final arc in the manga, then we may actually have the ending of the series before they get to it, well before they get to it. They'd be able to do that, man, but like, how do you want to keep these actors on for 12 years doing all this? I mean, realistically, that's a huge ask, but I hope so. I hope so. I would love for this to succeed and go the distance, man. And I'm sure, like, me having watched the anime up until this point is going to be, because I think a lot of the draw in that original season was that I didn't know fuck all about One Piece. So now it's going to be very different going into season 2, because I've watched everything that it's going to cover and well beyond it now. I think I'm still going to be able to keep a very balanced head about it all, you know, just coming into it the way I did. I'm just not going to be going into it blind like I did with season 1, which it was just, I know, I tried to fight the urge. I was like, but I after season 1, I was like, I had the itch. I just wanted to watch One Piece, and I told everybody I would stop once we got to the end of what the live action covered. And by the time we got there, I was just like, I think I need to continue. I can't stop. It's like Pringles. Once you pop, you don't stop. And I'm still watching, man. I'm still watching. And yeah, I can't wait, man. Anyway, that's all I got right now, guys. I want to know what you all thought. How do you feel about this first look at season 2 of One Piece? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Make sure to stick around because we will be reacting to season 2 when it comes out. And also, feel free to check out my reactions to the anime itself. We are currently, I think, what was the last episode I watched? I think 248. I think was the last episode I watched. Feel free to check that out as well. And before we go, I want to shout out Angela Burr, Adriana Maley, and Lily Chan's son. Thank you guys so much for becoming saviors here on the channel, helping support and sponsor some of the rescues we've been taking care of here at the office. You guys have been a tremendous help. And as always, I want to shout out our channel legends: Eric Official, Adam Myers, Angel Hernandez, Anthony, Armando Rasaj, Ash, Captain Hoodie, Carrie Eckerl, Clara V, Codename Witch, Corey Curry, Cyber, Sid, Daisy, Demasius, David Furstenberg, David, Denise Mauricio, Ellie Autumn, Gidney, Ethan Denise, Given Lewis, Gregory Toner, It's Smooshy, Jade, Jake Doherty, Jake Cottrell, Jen, Joshua Gunnell, Cato, Kane Osra, Carmen Wilmot, Liam Harrell, Lily Chanson, Lindley Bullock, Mandy Sharon, Max Buchek, Mel For Now, Muggy Holes, Nikki Demus, Nikki G, Noodle Foodle, Ollie Hodges, Pam R, Paul Brown, Philly J, Rage King Nova, Robert Onguionu, Ross Lingard, Russell Crockett, Ryan Morash, S, Scotty, Shelio, Silver Tier Moon, Sleepy, Snahali, Stan, Uncle Tony, York Scott V, your boy G-Man, and Zach Hills. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's just for you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.